Hello, we got there in the end. Hello, Scott. Hi there. You see, I've got my phone beside me because we've got such a basic setup. Just got the iPad in front of me to do the live stream. So the only way I can read the comments is on my phone. So I'll probably have a lag on my phone for the comments because getting to the comments with how the iPad is set up is pretty difficult. They go quite quickly. So we're on. We've got 4 people on as well, which is good. So 4 people have found me. Hi Matt. Feels weird doing this again after, what is it, 4 weeks or so, isn't it? I haven't been able to do this since the coinathon. Cheers, Warren. 6 people on, 6 likes. That's what I like to see. Excellent. Yeah, we've got plenty of time, and we've got 2 hours. So we are going to do a hunt as part of this. So this is why it's set up like this. This is how we do our hunts. If anybody's looked at our channel, you'll see that this is exactly the setup that we use for that. Just the hands in place, just the coins being searched. So we've got £250 of 50p's, which will split up for our R versus J hunt. So we've got new books. We've got 2 or 3 hunts up already on the channel. So you can see there's a few finds already. Hopefully the lighting's okay. I've had to turn the light off because it was shining so much off the books. So we're trying to avoid that. Hi Global, thanks for joining us. So far, if I go through, John's found a 2008 Britannia, Victoria Cross Heroes and Scouts. He's found a Girl Guides and a Benjamin Britten as well, and a Tiggy Winkle down the bottom there. He's done really well. He's got the find so far of the hunts. I can't quite get it into the picture there. Is a Newton. So that's definitely the best find that we've had so far. Just flick the light on, John, see if it will work. Yeah, the trouble is when you get the light on, you get such a bit of glare on it, but we'll try that for the moment. Let us know what you think is best, light on or light off. So John's found a Newton. So that's a really smug face he had when he found that. And we've got People Axe, both of the 2019 Paddington and Sherlock for John. And then he's got one Olympic, he found rowing as well, which was good. For me so far, probably a little bit behind in terms of quality. I've got more coins than John. EU stars there, entry to the EU, Ironside. Peter Rabbit from 16 and the middle. Now I'm going to have to turn that light off. And I've got the Team GB, Peter Rabbit from 17, Benjamin Bunny. What a surprise, you got that straight away. Both of this year's Paddingtons and the Sherlock as well. I'm certainly ahead on Olympics, so archery there and hockey. So we weren't necessarily going to start with the hunt. I was going to start with perhaps showing a few things off. Let us know in the comments what sort of things you'd like to see. What do you want me to start with? Some standard 50p's, something a bit different, Olympic stuff, older stuff. What do you fancy? We'll see what comment we get, and we'll go with whatever's on. Well, I'll tell you what then, we'll go with some older stuff. I had a little bit of a splurge a while ago of going through crowns and £5 coins and just picking a few bits up. You know, most of these picked up for just a couple of quid. So there's like the Millennium one, which is quite nice. Just went around eBay, Gumtree, that sort of thing, seeing what was about. Some of these came in some job lots as well. Just picked up a job lot of coins, about 15 or 20 coins from Gumtree. One of those in there was the Trafalgar. So I'd never really looked at £5 coins particularly, or the crowns. But went through a little spate of just trying to pick a few up. Some of the really common ones, of course. Churchill, you can pick that up for about a quid for the Churchill crown. A couple of those. And most of them tend to be royal family. So Queen Mother. Anniversary ones. So just something that's quite cheap and cheerful, these tend to be now. Absolutely dozens and dozens of these ones about. Bit different. This is probably the sorts that most people have got, because they tend to go for the commemorative royal occasion type crowns and £5. So I'd imagine quite a few people have got bits and pieces of these, different anniversary ones, birthday ones. I think that one there, it was like buy four for the price of three, about £5 in total, about £1.25 each it worked out to be. So good little fillers really, put those to the side. My favourite though of those is this one. Looks like it's an original box. And it's a Festival of Britain from 1951. So what attracted me to this, it looked in really good condition, and also it's got this original packaging, a little note about the coin. So I just thought that was something a little bit different. I think I paid about £3 for this one. So it's quite nice that it's, you know, nearly 70 years old, but it's still got that original box. So yeah, Festival of Britain from 1951. George VI. Anyone else got that one? I imagine probably quite a few of you have. But yeah, just thought it was quite nice that it came in that original box. And with a little note inside around the festival. Now, what I did get within one of those coin bundles, it's about 15 or 20 coins I think it was, included that £5 Trafalgar one. The one that actually attracted me to it though is when I got my first dual date, which came in a bundle of coins from a Gumtree purchase. So I just spotted that one on the two pictures on the front thumbnail. It wasn't on there. The person had highlighted the £5 coin, the Trafalgar £5 coin. But on the second page of this pile of coins, I spotted this one. And I ended up picking up, so I think it was about 15 or might have been 20 coins, and I picked it up for 30 quid. So that was the first time that I'd actually picked up a dual date 50p. And I think that's probably my favourite one that I own. Any comments out there around that? How many people have picked up a dual date? Is there anybody there? The other thing I didn't realise I had, we were sorting through an old box that the wife had bits and pieces in, and I didn't think I had a silver proof, but I have got a silver proof pound. It's Queen Mother again. It's Guernsey from 2002. So I didn't think I had a silver proof, but after all that time, I did. The only other proof that I have is one that I got in the mystery parcel prize from the Great British Coin Hunt, which is the US dollar. 2003. I haven't got into silver proofs so far. Not sure my bank balance can stand that at the moment. Okay. Anybody out there want to see anything in particular? Carded Olympics or something similar to that? My post, I'll show you my post that I got today. This was the free D-Day coin. So if you put in free D-Day coin, probably seen a few links. For just the postage of $2.50, you'll be sent this pack. So this coin arrived today. Which is the first in that series. It's the first one of these picture type coins that I've ever had in my hand. I'm not sure that I'll go ahead and order the full set. There's a full set available. The others are gold plated and 30 quid a month. So I might give that a miss, is just take the free one and see what it's like. But if you haven't already looked at that, if you put into your search engine free D-Day coin, then that one is available in the little pack as a starter. Okay, I think given we've got no other comments at the moment, we might start our hunt. So John, do you want to bring up the bag and the scissors, mate?
Right.
Whose side are you on? Are you going to go for R or J, Richard or John? Let's have it in the comments who you're backing. So I managed to get a sealed bag. We take it in turns to have the lucky 13th bag. Whose turn is it, John, to have the extra bag?
I don't know, I think mine.
Your turn? Okay.
Yeah, you can.
Thanks for joining us, Kim. So, let's deal out the bag. And who's going first, John? You need to come and pick your pile. That's the 13. Do you want to swap any?
No.
No?
No.
So do comment. Let's have some chat in there around what you think we might find. I've got a bit of catch up to do on the quality of the finds against John. Can we find that elusive cue? Can we find some of those other rarer ones? Fill out the album, few Olympics. I would definitely think the puddle duck would be lovely there, Matt. Yeah, definitely. Oh dear. Not the best of starts for me. Just the Tyler Peter Rabbit from 2017. Victoria Cross Heroic Acts. That's what I call it. I think it's got a much longer official title. Part of the 2006 series. Just have a look, John, have I got the Heroic Acts one? Or was it you that got that one?
Yeah, you got it.
I got that one. And a couple of 2019 shields to finish up with. I was hearing yesterday that apparently because of the delay to the Brexit coin, it's likely they're going to produce even more 2019 shields, which was pretty disappointing. There's been more than enough of those already. Excellent. I think this is my first file. No, it's not. It's my eyes. It's 2003. I'm still looking for the 2008 for the book. I think John found about 3 in our previous hunts and was laughing at me that I couldn't find one. I've got another Taylor Peter Rabbit. John's feeling very confident at the moment after his Newton find in the last one. So I've got entry to the EU stars as people tend to call it. Again, that's a swap for me, I've already found that one. And a Sherlock Holmes, which again is looking like there's going to be an absolute load of those. I was very much hoping that the Sherlock Holmes would be quite low mintage. It's the first coin that I managed to get sealed bags of. I've got a couple, as in £20 worth, 2 sealed bags of the Sherlock Holmes. It's the first one I managed to find and get hold of those. But unfortunately looking like it's going to be quite a high mintage, so still worth keeping. At the moment I'm hoarding a loads of my duplicates and swaps and just waiting to see what I might want to do with them in the future, about whether they might be good to sell, etc. I was only ever collecting right from the start, never even thought about looking to make any money out of it as such and to sell it. But starting to think a bit more in that way now. And that's where it's really good being on the Great British Coin Hunt and all the different people that can give you lots of advice and ideas and valuations. We've got yet another Taylor Peter rabbit, because it really helps you know what's worth looking for, which in theory of course is absolutely anything, because at the end of the day, in 20 years time, even if it's the most straightforward and common coin, so even if it's a Benjamin Bunny, if you've got Benjamin Bunnies in a good state, in good condition, then 20 years time they might actually start to be worth something. We cannot all but hope. So a bit of a slow start for me. John's definitely looking favourite at the moment. Anybody going to pick a team? Let's have some hashtag teams down the bottom. R or J, who's going for who? Pick your side. There we go, I think we've got one for my book. We found a 2017 Shield. So just a Shield, but we all know the mintage on that is lower than the majority of any other commemorative coins that we find, so I'm happy enough with that. That's one for my album. Stretch my lead over John in terms of the number of coins found anyway. Hello Lamont, glad to see you back. The last time I saw Lamont was during my live stream on the Coinathon at about 2 in the morning. So good to see you back, buddy. I found a Battle of Hastings. So here's another one for my album find. Thin pickings for me so far on this one. Certainly no sign of that puddle duck that Matt was predicting. We've got a People Act. So again, very common, about 9 million of those were minted. I'm thinking that that's the sort of thing that the Sherlock will be. It'll end up being like the People Act. And the Johnson's Dictionary. Again, one of the very common ones. And another People Act. I'm already close to halfway through my bags. Only found 2 to stretch my lead over John. Who do you think is going to win then, Monk? Who's your money on? We've got the watches gone up a bit, so thank you for joining us. So just in the middle of the first part of our head-to-head challenge. Richard versus John, R versus J. So John's got his bags to the side to follow mine. It's not got a lot to follow so far. Team R all the way for Le Monk. Thank you very much for your support, Le Monk. I'm sure John will be devastated not to have your support, but I need all the help I can get at the moment. There's 3 bags left of this part. Hello Ian, thanks for joining us. Good to see you. Thanks for your comments on the other videos so far. Yeah, I do have to concede that from those first ones that John probably is in the lead in terms of the quality, particularly for that Newton. As I say, hasn't got a lot to follow so far in this one, unfortunately. This is something a bit different. So not one of the ones that we've got a little label in the book for, but it's an East Caribbean dollar. So often confused with a 50p for obvious reasons. So this one's from 2000. I've got a couple of these. I found a couple of these in hunts. Nice coin. I think the coins with ships on, wherever they're from. Always a nice looking coin. So we'll keep that at the back of the album as well as an extra, perhaps as a tiebreaker if necessary. Or is that me just clutching at straws, given that I found nothing else? Hello Judith, thanks for coming on. Good to see you on here. Don't forget to hit the like button as well, and then hopefully at some point you may go across, and if you haven't already, subscribe to RJ Coins. There we go. I managed to find a 2008 Britannia, so I have got at least another one for my album to pull further ahead of John in terms of numbers anyway. I'd say that must have been good luck with Judith joining, that I've managed to find a couple more. So we've got a 2016 Peter Rabbit, so the original. It's probably my favourite one of the Peter Rabbit ones actually. Second Battle of Hastings. So my last bag. So it hasn't been a complete disaster, but nothing dramatically fantastic to find. We've got a Paddington at the station, which I think I do need for this particular hunt challenge, so that's good. Strong finish. So that's it for me. So from my 12 bags of the share there, the ones that I needed were 2008 Britannia, 8 Britannia, and a 2017 Shield, and a Battle of Hastings adds to my tally as well. And the Paddington at the station. So not a bad little return, just to try and keep ahead of John. Let's put those in. Always the tricky part. So who thinks that's going to keep me ahead of John? And any predictions as to what John's going to find? How much luck is he going to get in his bag? Or his bag, should I say. So not a bad overall return from the first few hunts. Starting to fill up quite nicely. So I'm certainly ahead in terms of the numbers that have been found so far. Even if John has found some of the slightly rarer and better ones. Let's put that East Caribbean dollar in the back as well. Goes with the Jersey coin that we also found in the previous one. Might keep a couple of those other ones, but we'll have a look through those in a little bit as to what we might keep. So, what do you think of that one? Successful hunt? Let's have some comments around whether you think that John might do better. And I'll hand over to John to do his 13 bags. So will it be 13 lucky bags or will it be unlucky 13? Yeah, I'm relatively pleased with that actually. This is all about filling that album up, so I can take that at the moment.
Alright, so I got 13 bags, so we'll just start straight away. So, straight away we've got Panton at the tower. I can't really remember what ones I had in one book.
I'll check what you've got as we're going through. I think you've got that one, John. So just warming up. Yeah, you got the tower one in the first hunt. Yeah, I think that
We've got
John might fight an Olympic as well.
17 shields.
17 shield. You see, you definitely need that one for catching me up. Yeah, John has had quite a bit of luck actually with the Olympics as well over the time. Yeah, Ian Ritchie saying it won't take much for John to pull away. Yeah.
Got Panton at the station.
So that's certainly one that you needed. So already two at the first bag. So off to a racing start.
We've got a first Sherlock of the hunt.
First Sherlock, so we found loads and loads of those in our general hunts. I don't think we've had a hunt since we first found one that we haven't had one in.
Nothing new in that bag, unfortunately.
Or fortunately, if you're on Team R.
Yeah. We've got another Paddington at the tower.
Again, we found an awful lot of those. I think I've got 40 or 50 of those just found in hunts. Any predictions? Who's sending their positive thoughts across to John? What's he going to find?
Nothing in that one then. We've got another Paddington at the tower.
There we go, just showing that they are pretty common. Global thinks we're going to find an archery. Yeah, I hope you're right. I don't mind finding the Olympic, even if it's John that finds it. Are you going to be? Are you Team R or Team J Global? Who are you backing?
We've got Taylor Peter Rabbit.
So not a new one for your album. Surprise, surprise! You already found that one. Just throw the bags on the floor, John. We'll sort it out later. Global's Team J.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah. You should have seen the smirk on his face. I know you can't see the smirk on his face because that's deliberate, but I can. Someone's got to like him. I shouldn't argue with him really, because he's a bit of a fighter, is John. After our coinathon stream, that next morning he had his kickboxing grading, so yeah, don't argue with John.
Nothing in that one.
What belt are you now, John?
Brown black.
Brown black, so just black to go, that isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So John's almost a black belt, so be kind to him. I was surprised he managed to do it actually after being up till 3 in the morning after a 4-hour live stream.
We've got dictionaries.
And you do actually need that one, John. You hadn't found that one, so that's another one added.
Nothing else on that one though, but at least we got a new one for that album.
Yeah. I think you've already found as many in your first few bags, haven't you, that you need to add in as I did in my old hunt, so. John does get enough sleep generally. He just falls asleep whenever, really. If he fancies a kip, he just falls asleep, just puts his head down. Complete bust bag, that one, was it?
Yeah.
That's a shame,
Yeah.
isn't it? I'm not competitive at all.
You got Paddington at St Paul's.
I had already found that one, so not a new one for the book, but a nice find at the moment. Not finding quite as many of those as the ones at the tower.
You got EU stars. Is that a new one for the?
Yes, you do need the EU stars, yes. I'm thrilled for you.
Yeah.
There you go, there's some more insincerity for you, Ian. I'm thrilled for John finding another one.
We've got another Paddington at the tower.
Oh, another swap. What a shame. So I'm a bit surprised so far that you haven't found an Olympics, because I don't think there's been although we haven't found that many, there's been an Olympic in pretty much every hunt we've had in the last few weeks still. Just
Some hunts we got two.
yeah. Especially from sealed bags. You think people always say about sealed bags being
Got Benjamin Bunny.
Benjamin Bunny. I think you found him, haven't you?
Mustard.
Must have done.
I think this is a new one for my book as well. Ironside.
Yes, you do need Ironside as well, John. I certainly haven't found sealed bags to be any better than standard bank bags.
I think that's in that one.
Sometimes, at least with the standard bank bags, you've got something that has just been paid back in by somebody else and it's got quite a bit of variety in there, so it can be better. Just depends on whether they're chucking back their scraps or whether they're getting rid of a whole collection or just found something that they don't actually want and don't know what it is. Yeah, I was expecting everyone to be Team J. I wasn't expecting any different, so I might as well just go for the villain section, really.
We've got got another Sherlock.
Another Sherlock, yeah. So perhaps instead of being Team R and Team J, we're going to end up being Team Superhero and Team Villain. John's a bit of a Marvel fan, so that's probably a good one for him.
Yeah. We've got another Paddington at the station.
Yeah, finding a Gruffalo would be awesome. They should be just about out there now. Most people have got their 10 out into the Coinstar machine, so they, in theory, are going to be starting to be chucked out from the different cash centres. And you never know your luck. Again, anybody that hasn't already gone across and looked at Bungle, Bungle is the one that is supporting the Gruffalo release. So Bungle collects coins. He's just, I think, around 150 or so away from getting to 1,000 subscribers. For his efforts and to support him with the Gruffalo release, I think it would be great if anybody can share and get Bungle up to 1,000. That would be fantastic.
So on the final bag now. We're finishing off with a complete bust.
A complete bust. That's a real shame. So there's your book. Let's see what we know. I think you found, was it 5? Possibly more.
I think so.
Yeah, it will be really, really great and really awesome when that first one is found on a coin hunt on YouTube. That first Gruffalo coming out will be quite a moment. The Ironside going in. Ian says it's 3-0 to Team J from the first ones that he's watched. Do you agree with him, John?
Probably, yeah.
I think there was at least one draw in there. Just, you know, I know quality, you talk about quality, but you've still got to have the numbers to fill the book. I'm claiming at least one draw in there. Any more for any more?
Don't think so.
No? Yeah, I think I will concede defeat to John on today's hunt, unfortunately. So just go through what you have found so far then, John, between there's been 3 hunts, 2 other videos already up there on RJ Coins, and then today's one. So just go through what you've got.
So far I've found the 2008 Britannia and the 2017 Shield.
See you soon, Kim.
I've found the EU stars, which I found today, and also the dictionaries, which I found today. found the Victoria Cross Heroes and the Scouts, and also the Girl Guides. I found the Ironside today. I found Benjamin Britten and Tiggy Winkle. I also had the Newton last hunt.
Yeah, which is definitely
my favourite pull so far.
Yeah, that is the coin that we've found so far. That is definitely the best one of the whole lot.
And then of the Potters, I've found a Taylor Peter Rabbit, a Jeremy Fisher, a Benjamin Bunny, and a Taylor of Gloucester. And then I've found of the Paddingtons, I've found Paddington at the station, Paddington at the Tower, and Paddington at St Paul's. I've also found the People's Act and Sherlock Holmes. And then for the Olympics, I've found a Rowan.
Yeah. And then you had one territories found as well so far, which was
It's from
Gibraltar. Yeah. Okay, so I think, yeah, that's pretty decent. I do concede defeat today, John. So not a bad hunt overall between the two of us from the £250. Let's just double check on the numbers as well, because I'm saying I had on numbers, but I might not be anymore. '21 plus an Olympics. And 20 plus an Olympics. So actually, only one behind on numbers as well, John. So
quality over quantity. You haven't got Newton yet.
There we go. Hopefully you might quite have enjoyed that one. Have a look at our channel, RJ Coins, please. That would be fantastic. Like the videos, subscribe. That would be really, really good. And see who wins the next one. We'll certainly be putting up something every week is the aim. Put up a head-to-head challenge like that until we've got this album filled. So it could be some time, but it will keep us out of trouble anyway. Excellent. So we've still got a dozen or so people with us. What do you fancy looking at next? One thing I will say, don't forget, 23rd today, 1st of each month. What you may remember is coming up on the Great British Coin Hunt is the penny auctions. So all those non-magnetic 1p's and 2p's. No worries, Warren. We've done our hunt. John has given me a good pasting today and has caught up in our head-to-head challenge in terms of the numbers he's got, and unfortunately he found better ones as well. I'm just showing at the moment, just over a week's time, the penny auctions will be on the Great British Coin Hunt. So there we go. I haven't been able to check through as many as I'd like, but I've got a little bit of a stash ready for my auctions. Hopefully I'll be able to pick up a couple of good wins when that happens again. Not quite in the league to bid for the silver proofs, etc. on that one, but we'll be able to join in and be competitive at least on that. So request time, any special requests? What do we want to look at? What sort of thing do we want to look at now? Showed a few of the crowns and the £5 coins off at the very beginning, and that free D-Day coin as well. I've got pretty much my whole collection beside me at the moment. So if there's any particular type of coin or area of the coins that you want to have a look about, ask any questions about, then let me know. What do you fancy having a look at? I suppose I could just show you exactly how I keep my coins. I'm just going to throw all these old 50s that I've just gone through into a pot at the moment, get them out of the way, and I'll sort those out later. So, come on, what do you want to see? So that's my standard sort of albums with day-to-day circulated coins and things you might find. Any questions? Anything you want to have a look at? And then after that, when I've got spares, and that's where I tend to keep them. I've got 2 or 3 of those. How about you, Warren? Is there something in particular that you might fancy a look at? There's a few other albums as well. Proper albums of different bits and pieces. So this was my main original album, which does have, I think, one of everything in there now. So you've got the full Olympic set. You've then got, goes from the back actually in terms of that way around. All the commemorative designs. Right the way through. And then we've got a date run of Britannias. And a date run of Shields. Unfortunately I haven't got 9, 10, 11, 16, etc. I've got a few foreign coins. I haven't got a tremendous amount. I picked up a few US quarters and such like. What 3 are you missing, Warren, from your 50p? So foreign wise, I'll show you some of the foreign bits and pieces I've got. Foreign wise, it's tended to be that I've just picked up bits and pieces in job lots and just seen what's there, and also got people that have known that I'm collecting, and they'll just say, do you fancy this? And I'll just say, yep, whatever it is, I'll just take it and see what comes along. If people go on holiday, I ask them to bring back bits and pieces. and try and put together bits like that. So yeah, in terms of foreign wise, I did pick up, it's going to be difficult to show this, because it's an absolutely huge album and the way we set things up isn't really set for that. So yeah, I picked up this from eBay, which is a complete 50 state collection. A few of those coins are quite toned, but it is a complete collection, so I think I only paid around £15–16 for that in the album complete. Yep, so that is the state quarters. So Warren's missing Snowman, Flopsy and Tittlemouse. Oh, but you've got them coming next week anyway. Okay, excellent. Yeah, that was a really great deal on that state quarter album. So a few of the coins are quite toned, but it is just natural toning. It's not that they're sort of really damaged as such. So yeah, I was quite pleased with that. But what I did then look to do is when people go on holiday, I ask them to bring back coins, etc. And I have started to try to put together another separate set and to include the part quarters as well, which I will attempt to find. That's the trouble when you've got about 20 folders, it's knowing what's in which one. It's the foreign one, so I'll show some foreign ones off in a second. Here we go. Yeah, so I'm trying to put together a separate book of state quarters. So I've got a few of them, probably about half of them again now. And some of the part quarters as well, the up-to-date ones. Which I didn't realise until not that long ago, also are all linked to an update of the state quarters. So each of the different monuments or national parks, etc., has got the state listed on that coin as well, if it's applicable. And I hadn't realised that, so I picked up a few more of those. I have got some family members that go quite regularly to the States, and I've asked them to start bringing them back. So that's starting to build. And a couple of dollars and nickels and dimes, etc. as well. But it is just what I'm picking up as people come back from holidays and that sort of thing. And then foreign coin wise, I've got a few foreign coins, and as I say, I generally pick these up just from job lots, so not specifically been looking for them, but just when I've seen something else. So some of them are quite much older ones, so Australian 50 cents for example there. Yeah, Judith, the state quarters and the park quarters are really nice coins, and a nice set to put together. Some of them are ones that I've found in different hunts, so I've done a few Tempe hunts from time to time, and you get various foreign coins appear in those. So this is a nice one as well. This is one that I found. This was actually given to me by my post office. They know that I collect, and obviously they couldn't pay in. It's a Canadian 25 cents with a pod of whales on, and they put that aside for me when I went in last week. They said, "Do you fancy this?" And I said, "Yes, thank you very much." The Canadian coins, actually, I've got a few of those that people have found and given to me, and the Canadian ones I think, are quite impressive. They're ones that I could potentially really like to look for. I mean, that's a really lovely coin with those whales on. I've got a few Canadian ones that I managed to pick up. So a Canadian dollar, and that's with a polar bear. A couple of those. And then we have one that is the 10 cents, I think, as well. No, sorry, another 25 cents, which has got an elk on there. So these are all Canadian ones. A Canadian dollar with a duck. So they do like their animals on the Canadian ones, it seems. And the other thing you get a lot on a lot of coins is ships. So a Canadian 10 cents there with a yacht. Canadian coins are really light, really thin and really light. Quite different to some of ours, especially the older ones. And then this one was really nice. It's a Canadian 25 cents from 18 for the armistice. So the 2018 armistice coin. And that's really lovely as well. So I was pleased when someone came up and said, "I've got this, do you fancy that?" Yeah, I think the only Australian one I have got, Warren, is that 50 cents, the old 50 cents that I showed you first up. Which is surprising because I've actually got family in Australia, so perhaps should tap them up for a bit more. Again, another one found in a 50p hunt. This is a Cypriot one, I think. Surprising how many of those turn up when you're doing your 50p hunts, and how many foreign coins, etc., that do turn up. So today we got an East Caribbean dollar. This one, a Cypriot 50, it's turned up before. So that's from a hunt. Sometimes it's actually nicer to find those ones, because you get all the different variants that are about that are quite common from the UK coins. And if you find them again, you've already got them, you've got quite a few of them. So to have something a bit different as a foreign coin like that East Caribbean 25 cents that we got today, that Cypriot one that I found before, it's always good. Yeah, so the only Australian one I've got there is with an animal on is that particular one. I have got a little $2 one, which has got the indigenous markings on there. This one's an Australian one, I think. Actually, I've just realised I've got the original. I thought it was New Zealand, but I think it's an Australian one. It's a hedgehog or something similar. So it could be an echidna or something like that. It's a 5 cent. One of the oldest coins I've got here, I think. I'll show that one off. It's sort of an animal because it's like a lion. Throw it at you. This is a Belgian 5 centime from 1863. So it's like a prancing lion. It's one of the oldest coins I've got, I think. Probably silver, I imagine, given that it's 1863. Haven't really checked that one out. Perhaps need to put that on my cornerscope, see what it says about it. Only got that app in the last day or two. Been meaning to download it for a while. I'd seen Trevor from Coins to Collect use it a little while ago, and I thought it looked quite impressive, but just got around to downloading it in the last couple of days. So other thing that I've got here, talking about the penny auctions a little while ago, for 10 pennies I won a voucher to get some Belgian coins. I don't know if these are going to come across very well because these are from 1941 through till 45. I've got 1 franc from each of those years, so they're the wartime years from Belgium, which I thought was quite interesting. It's got that same prancing lion on that I showed you on the other centime one that I picked up. So yeah, there's a few bits that just pick up from here and there. I haven't specifically looked to collect foreign coins as such. Just whenever I come across these little job lots of bits and pieces or people hand to me. Again, other ones found in 10p hunts. I think this is the Icelandic or Finnish with the tuna fish on. See you soon, Judith. Thanks for popping along and thanks for commenting. It's always much appreciated when people interact and comment, because it makes it so much easier to go through the stream that way. Other bits and pieces got here. So again, there's definitely animal theme with a lot of these foreign coins as well. So a Gambian coin. I think this was found in the 50p. It's an older, slightly bigger one, but with a croc on. Kenyan 5 shilling, 5 shillings. You've got, yeah, and there's the another one that I found there. It's a Barbados dollar. And that's also got a fish on. So it is amazing what you can find in some of these 50p hunts, because a lot of those have come from those. And I have graciously picked up also a date one of the old 50p's, the old large 50p's right the way through. And I bought some of these from the Great British Coin Hunt as well to try and fill in the gaps. There's another dual date there. I think I've got 3 at the moment in total with the dual dates. I've got 2 loose, or 1 loose, 1 in a package and 1 in a coin set. So I do like that one. Obviously much rarer even than cute. There's only what, 920,000 of these minted, something like that, 928,000. A couple of the old larger ones that I've managed to acquire from different places, and I must admit, Ian always said you should know where you got them from and how much you paid and that sort of thing. Because I've just collected, I haven't really thought about it from a value point of view, and no thought around perhaps getting rid of them in the future. Got some of the Isle of Man Christmas coins, and I know they're very sought after. So these are some of the older, larger ones that I've managed to get hold of. So no idea how much I paid for them, etc. Can't remember a thing. Around a lot of that. I'm starting to take a bit more notice of that. And there's a couple of the old Isle of Man ones generally that I managed to find as well, which are a bit different. Some people are just, just hand them across as well when they say, oh, I found these, do you want these? Say yes please, that'll be great. When I got that dual date coin at the same time with another job lot from the same person, there was this sort of old 50p, a couple of the old D-Day ones as well. Yeah, you can get it quite cheap, so I mean 1 kilogram for 10 quid. Yeah, it's worth potentially just getting a bag and seeing what's in there, isn't it, really? I think I might do that. Might be the next little project, is to just see what we can find in terms of that, because all of these have just been picked up in little dribs and drabs, a couple of little job lots, but no more than perhaps 15 coins, 20 coins at a time at the most, rather than a big 1 kilogram. But yeah, kilogram for a tenner, you can't really go wrong, can you? My other one that I really love is territories generally, so let's have a look at some territories. Again, I did quite a few £2 hunts, and I've got, I think, at least three full sets, including the Commonwealths of the £2. So often the ones that I most like to find are the territory ones, and there's a Battle of Trafalgar, £2, which was just found in a standard £2 hunt. So that's one of my best finds, I think. And some of these have been found in hunts, some I might have bought. Got a couple of bits on the Mad Weekend, which were territories ones. To be honest, I can't even remember whether some of them came from the Mad Weekend on a couple of these bits. Another animal theme there. Yeah, it is amazing how many of the different foreign coins, territory coins, that when you're doing the hunts that you find. I mean, as I say, we found one today, didn't we, on the 50p hunt, the East Coast, East Caribbean 25 cents. Yeah, it is amazing how many are out there. And then we've got some £1. Again, I'm lucky enough that I've been able to get access to search £1, old round pounds, and in those as well as finding all the standard UK ones, there's various territory ones. There's a referendum. So these are all from Gibraltar. It's from 2002. There's a Tree of Life one that's from there. The old £1 hunts, I've got one on my stream on RJ Coins. There's a hunt where I went through, I had about 400 of the old round pounds to go through to try and fill a second album of those, because I've got a full set and we tried to fill a second album, which we did. Only ended up having to buy, I think it was the last round pound itself, which I can't recall anybody ever finding in a hunt, because it was only ever issued like a bunk pack. And I didn't find Edinburgh or Cardiff in that hunt. But generally, if you can get hold of a decent quantity of old round pounds, you will find the majority of the different variants all the way through. It will just be things like those city ones, the crown shield, etc. But even like the floral sets and the bridges, you will find. So another Gibraltar with the Barbary ape on a 50p. And we've got 20p, so these are all stuck together. So Gibraltar keys on the 20p's. And it's amazing how often they even turn up in your change. So on one of the live streams a few weeks ago when I was on holiday, I said I'm just popping out for some milk. It was just after I'd lost out to Steve Fraser on a nice silver proof auction, so I'm not bitter about that still. But when I was getting my milk, the 20p change was this lady of Europa. So again, just from the corner shop, from the newsagent, you can still find some of these different coins coming through. From a few 10p hunts I've done, again, you find the territory coins come through, so I've been lucky enough to find a number of those. So that's a Gibraltar. Actually, the other part of this book is some euros. Also had a trip to Poland earlier on in the year, so we've got the Zloty and Grozny, I think they are. So I managed to put together right up from 1 Grozny to 5 Zloty. And also went to Bulgaria earlier this year, so that's the Bulgarian lever. So that's what they're called, Bulgarian lev. So tapped up one of the shopkeepers there to make sure we got one of each denomination of the Bulgarian when we were on holiday there. And as you do when you've got a lot of time in your hands sitting around the pool, I did do a little search engine about Bulgarian coins, and I was really surprised just how many they had. It was quite an amazing number, like the equivalent of our Olympic collections and such like, and different anniversaries and commemoratives. I didn't find too many because I was on an all-inclusive holiday, but so didn't need to go through too many coins. But if you were on holiday, on a normal holiday in Bulgaria, and spending your money, then there was hundreds upon hundreds of commemorative coins. It's very similar to our Olympic sets and similar things like that. and I was quite surprised that that was the case. So there must be thousands upon thousands of different coins that you could look to collect from all around the world that would be, you know, quite amazing designs. So it's my Guernsey book. I haven't got too many Guernsey. Hello, Mr. Bacon. That's a new name. I haven't seen Mr. Bacon before. Thanks for joining us. Do make sure you've hit that like button. Again, a couple of other Jersey round pounds. I think both of these have been found in hunting round pounds. Is that one? I think that's called the Resolute Ship. I always call it the Resolute Ship. That's the name I've got in my head. I don't know whether it's that one or it's a different one from Jersey, but that's what I've got in my head there. And we've got the Frisia 50p's, so I'm trying to put together a little date one there as well. Done a search of 20p's, looking for the undated 20p, and I come across quite a few territories in there. Well, this is one of those. In Guernsey 20p. And the obligatory tomatoes one from a 10p hunt. A lot of people seem to find that in the 10p hunts, probably more than the A to Zs. And then when I was doing my 1 and 2p hunts for the penny auctions, found a few territories as well. There's a 2p from Guernsey, back to the animals, Guernsey cow. Now this one was my favourite find in £2 hunts only about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Standard UK £2 hunt, and I got a Steve Hislop their TT races. Never come across one of those before in a £2 hunt until, as I say, 3 or 4 weeks ago. Oh, that's an interesting thing that could happen. If they're going to switch totally to UK coins, it'd be key then as to whether they still continue to produce the number of coins that they do, or whether they just have what comes from the mint, and whether it gives us a chance to find a few more ones like the rally coins. So again, that's come from a hunt. And the Peel Tower, I think that one is. I think I did actually buy that one. More round pounds. These were just found in round pound hunt as well. If you did check out that video on our channel, the round pound hunt one, I think we found about, I think it was 7 or 8 territory ones just in that sort of bag of £400. And then we've got the sapphire set there as well. The, was it Lawton Ram? The TT Races 50p, and again the Tower 50p, which is a little bit of a date run. I do quite like these ones. These are one of my favourites of the territory coins. So it's the Viking Longship ones. There's a few of those in different denominations. I think they're really, really lovely designs, those ones. So I'll be happy to find a few more of them. In that last 20p hunt that I done when I was looking for an undated, that's an Isle of Man one. I had absolutely no idea what that one is. It's from 1982, but that was in a standard bag of 20p's. Again, there's a, I think it's actually a long ship sailing straight on at you, with a Viking helmet on the top. Just sort of worked it out. I've been looking at it for ages and couldn't really work out what it was. I think I just have. So it's been worth it for me today just to have a look at that coin again and find it. And again, we got the rally equivalent in a 20p, which was just found in that hunt that I'd done as well. And pennies from the penny hunt. And then we've got Jersey. So you've got very similar themes really in terms of the Jersey. So you've got the generic £2 coin, the ship design on the pound coin, their sort of tower castle type one, and a lighthouse coin. So that's the one that's a bit different. You've got the lighthouse coin with Jersey. It's quite nice. And a penny tower as well. Again, that was just from standard UK penny hunt. And the last ones on here is Falklands. Like a map of the islands. Falklands are another one that like their animals, aren't they? Because we've got the penguins, got the, was it Warrah fox on the 50p. On the 20p got a sheep. Is that the fox one, Warren, that you were talking about there, being that you particularly like? The 50p fox. Is that the one you meant, that you particularly liked? The other one from the Falklands there, sounds like you've got a skull, Neanderthal skull. Probably just heard the doorbell go. I think John's going to get that for us.
What?
Going to get the door?
Yeah.
Alright, that might be Alex. And we've got Albatross 2p. Just from that standard hunt that we've done, looking for the penny auction coins.
Thank you.
We've got some goodies, John.
You what?
We've got some goodies.
No, it's from Mum.
Ah, okay. Delivery, but not for me, for a change. talked about round pound. So when I'd done my round pound hunt, this was the album that I was looking to fill. So this is now full. So I only needed to end up buying a couple of others to fill this one, including the last round pound. Not easy to get them out of these. So a full set there, full variant set. My other run in my book is actually not just only a full variant set, but a full date run as well, because a lot of these were produced in more than 1 year, so at least 2 years, and some of the shields, for example, around 5 different years that they were produced. So I've got a full date run in the other set, and then this is a full variant set as well, including the last round pound and the first new shape shield coin. And I've got a few swaps. I have actually got listed up at the moment for sale some of these different swap coins. So there's a set of floral coins. So for each of England, Scotland, Ireland and Wales, you've got the symbol for each of those. So this is the rose and oak for England. The Welsh one is the leek and daffodil. It's a bridge set. We'll get that out for a second. I'm just trying to find the bluebell and thistle and the light for Scotland and the flats for Northern Ireland, if I can. Yeah, so we've got the Scottish bluebell and thistle. Has anybody else got round pounds? Does anybody else bother about the round pounds? Did they get the full sets before they were taken out of circulation? Have you got many, Warren? Can't find the Northern Ireland flax at the moment, but it's in there somewhere. And then you had a set of bridges, again from each country. So Menai Bridge, Menai Straits Bridge, Millennium Bridge, and the Forth Bridge. So that was the Menai, so that was the Egyptian arch. Sorry, I got that the wrong way around. Yep, so you've got those sets for the bridges. Let's see what we've got in here. Yeah, so the city ones were all done with like the flag in there. And then round balls at the bottom are the equivalent for the other ones of the 4 set. So this is the London one, and then at the bottom we've got Edinburgh, Cardiff and Belfast. And then on the Belfast one you've got the design for Belfast at the top, and the 3 in the miniatures at the bottom are then the Edinburgh, London and Cardiff. So each of them has its own design and then the acknowledgement of the other 4 of the set. And then you've got things like that, so the Welsh League. So again, you've got each of the 4 countries represented. English Oak. Scottish Thistle. And the Irish Flax. And then of course you had the English Lions, the Welsh Dragon, Celtic Cross for Ireland, and the Scottish Lion Rampant. So yeah, I really like the old rampounds. So I have got quite a few available, and if anyone is interested in those, hop across to my Facebook, put me a message on, and we can be in touch. So I've got the vast majority of any of the different variants there. At the moment, I haven't just got any swap of Edinburgh or Cardiff. Pretty much most of the others I've got a swap of available, of at least one, and in some cases many more. So if you're interested in old round pounds, let me know. You would think that any old coin's got to increase in value at some point, purely because there'll be less and less of them about and available. Eventually they'll all be, you know, taken back and melted down, so anything that's left in the public domain becomes rarer and rarer. But yeah, they are relatively cheap at the moment. I think most things, if you could sell for £1.50, £2 at the most for the standard ones, that's about it. Perhaps £2-3 for the floral ones. The bridges are quite popular, of course, and then the city ones might be £3 or £4 and a bit more if they're in uncirculated condition and such like. But yeah, they are generally, you know, not too expensive, but then that's good from a collector's point of view as well, because when things are hugely expensive, it's quite difficult to then complete your collection. And I think that's what most people are about, is trying to complete that collection, get some of the ones they like, but at a cost that is realistic and reasonable as well. I've paid huge money for some coins. The old £2 coins, I managed to find the majority of those, but surprise, surprise, you're not going to find a claim of rights. So I think I ended up paying something like £32 for a claim and bill of rights bunk set. And that's the only claim of rights I've got, and it's the only one I'm going to buy, because I don't really want to be paying £30 odd for a £2 coin too often. In terms of that, I'll see if I can find that actually, if I get the key to my box. So I've just unlocked the lockbox that I've got, which has got some of those more valuable coins, the packaged coins, etc. in. go. Yeah, so this was the set for the Bill of Rights and Claim of Rights. So that Claim of Rights is one of those that you just don't get hold of unless you pay big money for. As I say, I think this one was about £32 I ended up paying for this set. Just because I wanted to complete the old £2, have that Claim of Rights. So just a little bit of an old raw mint set, over 30 quid. So yeah, when they are uncirculated like that, it's incredible the difference in how they look. I mean, all of the coins, even the circulated ones, can look really, really nice, but when you get them like that, they are really stunning. Let's have a look. Let's get my £2 out as we're talking about those. So I've got 2 or 3 albums complete. Scott, that's the one I was just showing with the Claim and the Bill of Rights, the 89, yeah. I think it's one that if you are sort of becoming a semi-serious collector, that's one you want, isn't it? Like the dual date, like the Q, it's that Claim of Rights, it's one of those. So I've got 2 or 3 albums, the official Raw Mint album, another £2 album similar to what you'd have seen with My Family Collects and Gran, got one of those and they're full. And I've got in one of my little compartment boxes various spares of £2, etc. all there. And then a couple of albums of spares as well. So so this is my date run of technologies. So as I'm doing my hunts, I go through. I've tried to pick out the ones that are better quality, so similar to what Bungle is doing on his £2 hunts. I don't know where he got the idea of doing £2 hunts from. I'm not sure who suggested that to him. So yeah, so right through from 1997. Hello Cornelius, again another new name. I haven't seen Cornelius Random too often, if at all. I can't remember seeing that at all. Hello, thanks for joining us. And then right through to the Britannia £2. And then I've got a few spares. So these next pages are the 15s that I found. So there's what, about 20 odd there. And then I've got quite a few 2016 Britannias as well. So keeping all those aside because they're lower mintages. £2 was my original hunt really that I got into. So I've got quite a few £2. 50p's wise, I started that more around when my wife wanted the Potters and then the Paddingtons and whatever. So it's only been that I've seriously hunted 50p's in perhaps the last 2 or 3 years in terms of that. Okay, so these are my spares of £2. So let's show there. So there's the England Commonwealth. All the Commonwealth ones are always sought after. And the Scotland. So although they're spares, I don't think I would look to be trading these or getting rid of these ones. These are ones I'm going to certainly keep in Wales. And then Northern Ireland, which is notoriously hard to pick out that it is definitely Northern Ireland. I don't know whether you'll pick it up on the screen there or not really, but it definitely is. One of my luckiest finds is the Northern Ireland. I have found a couple in hunts. My luckiest find though was that I got it in my change at my local Tesco's, just buying a can of drink or bottle of drink. That was earlier on in the year when I'd come back from my trip to Poland. I showed you the Polish coins earlier on. So I was coming back from that and bought a drink on the way home, paid with a fiver, got two £2 coins in my change, and one of them was a Northern Ireland, so it just shows they're about there as well. And then some other swaps, so we've got my King James Bible, some of my Robert Burns swaps, a page of the Navy centenaries. Let's have a look. I haven't got my flag one in there, that's in a different book. Some of the Mary Rose, some of the Great Fire of London. Great Fire of London is one of the best coins there is, I think. Obviously a lot rarer than was first thought as well, but that is one of the best designs that there is, I think, out there. Great Fire of London. Originally thought there was about 5.5 million of those, and it's down to about 1.6 on the revision. Some underground swaps, some Shakespeare swaps, and then the less rare, just a swap of each, and some Olympic swaps. So we've got oh dear, East Kew Garden's a good one. That's the, yeah. You say no, I'll give you £1 for it. Yeah. So the Olympic ones there, again very rare. Either side of a million minted of these ones. So that's the original centenary one. Again, randomly got it in their change, so that is amazing. It just shows it can still happen. It is obviously very unlikely, but it still happens. So, and then the Beijing handover. When Beijing handed over there to London. And then the London to Rio handover. So both those handover coins are really nice as well. I think they're actually a nicer design than the Commonwealth ones. Yeah, I bet he did stop them playing with it. You wouldn't want that to lost down the back of the sofa. Yeah, so that's £2 wise. So yeah, £2 have been my favourites. I have been my favourite. I like them better than the 50p's in some ways. Although the 50p is the most popular one. There we go, this is the £1 date run. So as well as having each design, you've got one of each year. Aside from a few that weren't circulated, there's a couple of the ones like the Lion Rampant, the second one of those, was only issued in a set. So I haven't got that particular one. And then the other part of this album is my A to Z's. So a full run of 18 and a full run of 19. And I got those through trading really, as well as a visit to the mint where I picked up, I was only able to pick up about, I think about 20, 25, something like that. And I did, this was back in May, and that was using the postcard trick, so I did do that, but they were a bit more cautious about what they were giving out on the day that I was there. So yeah, we've got half a dozen or so postcards and ended up with about 25. Hello Colin Wilde, thanks for joining us. And the rest of them I traded. I tended to trade for my Olympic swaps. That's what was popular. So you'd find out that someone had various 10p's to swap, and then you'd just say, well, what are you looking for? And at the time I had a lot more Olympic swaps, so I was using those to fill up my 10p collection. That's really, really hard. I have not found a single one in my change of an A to Z 10p, and I've probably tried to hunt somewhere, like, not too much because it's just painful really. I've hunted probably 10, 12 bags, so about £1,000, £1,200 of 10p's, and I think within those I may have found half a dozen, 6 or 7 perhaps. So the rest has been just through trading out, and generally trading Olympic coins. So I traded a wrestling. I had a spare wrestling. I traded that for, I think it was about 8 to Z 10p's at the time. So I thought that was quite a good deal. And there's no way I would have finished my 10p's without trading out 50p's, particularly Olympics. So that's nice. So I had bought the full raw mint uncirculated set of the original 2018s because I thought that's the only way you're going to get them, of the 10p's. Did hear in the last week or so that they intend to continue to make those for the next certainly 2-3 years. I believe that's right. So yeah, A to Zs are incredibly hard to find. It'll be interesting to see just how many they do mint going forward. So whether in 2020 it's still that sort of 100,000-200,000, or whether they end up just chucking in, you know, 1 million or so, and it will change it completely about people looking for them. Hello Jack, thanks for hopping on. You've missed an awful lot. You've missed the big hunt. You've missed John giving me a pasting in the R versus J head-to-head challenge. You can pick up the first 2 parts of that by going across to the channel and looking up, subscribing. You've missed a lot of my collection, or part of my collection, in particular the foreign coins as well. I enjoy going through that because I don't necessarily get to look at them quite so often with everything going on. I think I'm coming into the last 5 minutes or so, is that right? Haven't even checked my watch. Any last requests, really? Anything else that people are interested in? Packaged? Any other bits and pieces? Other Olympic ones? Yeah, that's what I heard. I think it might have been on one of your streams, Warren, that I heard that you talked about the fact it's going to run for around 5 years, but we don't know. Favourite coin that I have? Right, let me have a look. It is a difficult one. I would think for most people, and for me, then obviously having the dual date when I picked that up, that was probably my favourite one of those type. Of the £2, then I really do like the Navy Centenary one. So I want the people that call it Belfast, of course, so Navy Centenary one. So that's my favourite of that. It took me absolute age to get my first one of those. So when I found that and got that, that was one. Probably, given that I don't have any silver proofs, then when I got this silver proof in my win that I had on the Mad Weekend on the mystery raffle, this was part of that, which is 2003 US dollar, gold finished silver proof. So I'd say at the moment probably that one, because of the fact that it's one of the ones I've got most recently, and because of the fact that I don't really have any silvers like that. So because it's so different, it's probably that one. Yeah, it'd be great if people do go across and subscribe to the channel. You can pick up a few extra videos there. You've got our 50p hunts that we've done, both some standard ones and then the new head-to-head hunt. I've got bits on there around the round pound, so we've looked at round pounds today. There's that video that I talked about where I found most of those round pounds that I was showing off today. And you've got a bit on there around the pennies. So given that the penny auctions are potentially coming up in a week's time, I did my original live stream test was a penny video. So on my channel there's the penny one. You'll find on the Great British Coin Hunt one, there's the penny and 2p hunts in there somewhere from that week before the coin farm. So yeah, that's probably my favourite at the moment, purely because it's something that I've got only quite recently, and it's unique within my collection, really, because of the fact that I don't really have silver proofs. Yeah, so you've got the coloured version of that one. Ah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a great fan of coloured coins generally, although some of them it does suit and some it doesn't quite so much. But if I start on silver proofs, I'm going to get myself in trouble, I think. That's the only thing. So I'm trying to resist. John won't get any birthday presents ever again if I start on silver proofs. So should I start on silver proofs, John? He's going, no, please don't, please don't. Yeah, I mean, that's a great coin to be sent. I know Louise has sent you quite a few bits, didn't she, or whatever, and that's, yeah, fantastic around the community that we've got built up and that people will do that. Yeah, so I am trying to be careful in terms of that. Other things here I've got, just to finish off, this is the 2018 Potter sets. I've got full sets. Again, if anybody's interested in a full set of 2018 Potters, then I do have some available. I've got them listed on Gumtree and Spock and such like, and there's some links on the Facebook as well, if anybody's interested. Drop me a note. That's crazy, 1 million views that Matt's passed. That's mind-boggling, really, isn't it, to have 1 million views. I think at the moment I'm something like 64 subscribers and perhaps 30 or 40 views on some of the videos. So to comprehend 1 million views is crazy. I'm certainly never going to be the most famous YouTuber in my family, because my nephew is certainly the one that will have that tag. My nephew does FIFA streaming for EA Games under the tag Lasty, and I think he's got something like 350,000 subscribers and regularly gets 10,000 views. So I'm not going to be competing there. So we've gained at least 4 today. That's very nice. So thank you very much, anybody that has gone across and subbed. You follow him, do you? You follow Lasty? Yeah, well, that's my nephew. So I should go for some tips and some old equipment and perhaps upgrade a bit, but that's how we are at the moment. I'm definitely not going to be the top in my family. Excellent. I must be running over time now, Warren. Is it Polly coming up next? Is she ready to come on, or do you want me to carry on for a bit? Yeah, ready, so I can stop this whenever you like. So I'll stop it now. So thank you to everyone that's joined. Thank you to everyone that's commented. It's been really good to be able to come back on. Unfortunately, I can't commit to do it on a regular basis, which is a great shame. But hopefully I'll be able to come and do some more stuff in the future. Cheers.